Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc. We talk comics, movies, TV, pop culture, all the stuff that you want to talk about. I'm your host, Michael Dolce, and with me, as always, is my co-host.
This thing is frozen.
This thing is frozen. He changes his name daily. He's the Lord of the Radio.
This darn thing is frozen.
Godwin. How's everyone doing out there tonight?
Everyone knows who I am.
Everyone know? Do they?
Yeah, I don't have a face, and they still know who I am.
Well, this is very true, actually. I want to welcome back the Periscope feed. We
Hello, Periscope.
We posted it. We're still at a whopping
zero.
Yeah,
but I wasn't able to watch you put on a pair of boxing gloves and punch a phone.
I actually did everything correctly tonight. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, you did.
We have this video go. We have the Facebook feed going.
Yes.
Facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire. We have the Periscope feed going. If you go to @Michael_Dolce.
So Sam knows that all we need is for about 2 hours before every show so that we could be properly prepared, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he just needs a clear schedule.
Yeah, and
for
then
us.
we need the makeup room.
Yes,
we need
exactly.
Like, we need to meditate, like the moment of Zen. Like, we need all that stuff to kind of get
little air.
Yeah, get very psyched up.
Yeah. I think, okay, Sam, so you got that? That's what we'll need.
Dark Cruz just chimed in that she wants to see the Lord of the Radio. She wants to see you're getting external pressure here.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure
from inside.
As soon as I know. As soon as we double the feed,
Fico Leone just joined,
and people see me, they'll be like, okay, we saw enough.
Yeah,
we can go back to the single screen again.
Go back to the single screen.
Yeah, we can do that.
We'll have to figure that out. We are the masters of technology here. Clearly. There's a lot of
You're gonna
there's a lot of laughter back there.
You're gonna actually say that we're the masters of technology.
Fico Leone said, "My face is infuriating." Hoping it gets scalded by a hot liquid. Oh, it's strange as it is.
We missed him.
I know.
We missed him.
I know. I feel so bad.
Don't be horrified. That happens every week.
He also says he loves us. So I mean, it's,
in his own way.
He's like bipolar. It works out pretty good.
He's missed us with every bullet so far.
So before we get into what we're going to get into, I want to thank all of our official patrons, of course, because they're awesome and they do so much for us.
Here we go. Roll call.
Official patrons. Which I apparently deleted. No, it's brought to you by our beloved patrons. We have dedicated fans: Einar Peterson, Matt Byer, John Hoff III, Ashley Heikai.
Not her name.
Our program director, Stephanie Dolce. Our executive producer, Steve Ovecki.
Fix.
Joined by Brian Phillips and Christina Gillen. And as always, our Uber fan, Christina Dolce.
Fixed. It's all fixed.
I also want to give a shout out again to Superhero Stuff. It's this mystery box. This mystery box has been flying off the shelves.
Right.
Because it's a mystery. We don't know what's in it, but you do know that you can get $79 worth of stuff for just $49.
Right. That's
Go
a $30
to the
difference.
Facebook page. Go to the Facebook page. Again, /Secrets of the Sire. Click shop now.
Why not? Why wouldn't you do it? I did it.
I know.
I did it.
Yeah. Love our patrons.
It's easy to do.
I did not mean to write that on that account.
I do easy things.
No, we do love our patrons. Secrets of the Sire loves our patrons. We do. I'm going to like that. I'm going to like that and share that. We have our interns galore. We have Dari and Trista, and we have Kerrigan.
Yes.
Holy cow! It's like there's bad jokes just rumbling through my my head.
Nobody is amused.
I was wondering, like, if you had like an older sister named Kerry, and like your parents like, Kerry again?
No, she merged two names.
Oh, okay.
She couldn't decide between Caroline or Megan, so she just made one.
She made Kerrigan.
Yeah.
There you go. See?
I
didn't even know you could do that.
What about Marilyn? That would have been much better.
Oh, no.
I can't
No.
do it. It's been a struggle my whole life.
Yeah.
That's her middle name. It's like Kerrigan Marilyn.
Wow.
That's how it works.
There's just a number of people staring at
I
her
want to give
after
another
she says
shout
her
out.
name.
Wait. I want to give a shout out to my wife out there as well,
Sure,
too.
go ahead.
And I'm wearing the shirt she got me for Father's Day last year. And this is Father's Day. I want to give a shout out to all the fathers coming up when you're listening to the podcast over the weekend. If you go to iTunes or iHeartRadio or Stitcher or Spreaker and you're listening to it, because that's what you should do if you're a dad. Steal some time on a Sunday and listen to our show. It's a treat. But shout out to all the dads out there. So it's good stuff. I'm the only dad in the room right now, which either speaks a lot about me or speaks a lot about you or like in a good way. I don't know. It's good. So happy Father's Day to everybody out there. All right, we have so much to get into that we're going to throw this out to the audience. We got Craig Caruso. We got John Shazam. I saw Kai Cole on there. I saw a whole bunch of folks on the Facebook feed. Brian Everham joined us. Joined us on time this time. See, he usually he like comments after the fact, but he made it in there.
But he's actually here now.
Craig Caruso asked, "Hey Mike, was Wonder Woman really worth seeing does it save the DCEU? That's one of the things we can talk about. We can talk about the fact that a lot of folks are chiming in. Is Wonder Woman basically Captain America, the first Avenger, in a woman's body? We can talk about the future of the DCU now that what the impact Wonder Woman's now having on the DCU.
It's going to be more Wonder Woman.
It's going to be more Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
We could also switch gears a little bit. We could talk Spider-Man. We got some Spider-Man news.
All right. So which one
or we
do you
have
wanna
Adam
do?
West. Well, I'm going to throw this out there. What's our bevy of interns? Is there like a female connotation of interns? Like it would be like lost interns?
If there was,
yeah,
I wouldn't be stupid enough to get into this discussion with you.
No, there's nothing stupid. Why do you assume? Why do you always assume there's something negative? If I'm
because there's always something negative, Mike.
So the gender neutral term interns is acceptable.
Yes, I think so.
But I was just asking because we have 3 female interns.
Right.
We're actually multiplying.
I don't think anybody is unaware of the fact that we have 3 female interns.
Well,
after your discussions.
Right, correct.
After the many.
But I'm just
many
wondering, is there a female connotation for intern?
Is there a female version of the word intern?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
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 It's a position. It's not a specific title. It's just a.
Well, you have actors and actresses. You know what I'm saying? It's the same
Yes, but
job.
you have male secretaries.
But we usually specify they're male secretaries, right?
No.
You just did. You just said male secretaries.
I'm saying, for the sake of this argument, there are men who are also secretaries.
There's stewards and stewardesses.
Okay.
See, I'm just saying. I'm not crazy. I'm not being nuts. I'm just saying there's an option for that. All right. What do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about Wonder Woman? Do we want to talk about the Captain America Wonder Woman thing? I think we
should talk about Wonder Woman right now. I think to pull ourselves
females
out of
run the world.
Tailspin.
All right. A lot of people are saying out there that Wonder Woman's a direct copy. And we wanted to actually talk about this last week.
In context of this conversation, a lot of people are saying that Wonder Woman is the female connotation of Captain America, right?
Like the female.
So you have a Captain America, and a female version of Captain America would be called Wonder Woman.
Actually, Captain America did come first, theoretically speaking, right?
You see what I'm saying with the joke?
Yeah.
About interns? You see him?
I
it's a segue.
see what you're saying.
It's a segue. You see what I'm saying? No, you missed
it's
the segue.
It's a commentary.
You missed the segue.
Is there a female version of commentary?
No.
It's not.
No.
It's just commentary.
It's a disaster is what this is right now.
Well, this is potluck day, see? Yeah, see? Just bringing different things to the table here.
It's kind of a shuffle, but okay, if you want to call it a potluck, you can do whatever you want. As you go ahead, do it, have at it.
I love it. All right, this is what we want to know. Star Wars fans unleashed. It is not really a copy if she didn't have superpowers from the military. All right, I guess what people are arguing right now.
That's not a useful.
I think people are just saying that they basically took the structure of Captain America to turn it into Wonder Woman. In fact, they changed the war.
Not really.
Well, no, but they specifically changed the war just so people wouldn't think it was too much of a ripoff of Captain America.
I think the thing that does it for everybody is the shield. She makes a lot of use of the shield, and the shield is kind of Captain America's thing.
I mean, if you look at the story
and
structure,
Wonder Woman
and you
is
look at the
shamelessly stealing the shield, the shield thing. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm just joking about that because I think it works. But she is shamelessly kind of, I could do the shield better. I make it look better.
Is it just the shield, though? I mean, I think in general, you look at the story structure, right? I mean, you have... it's an origin story. It's a period piece. It's set up against the backdrop of war. She's bringing hope to the hopeless, and that's what Captain America kind of did. I mean, I can see the similarities.
Her idea was to bring hope to the hopeless. However, when she got the dose of reality, she realized she couldn't bring hope to the hopeless, so that she was wrong. Whereas Captain America just wanted to be kind of part of the action, and he ended up accidentally bringing hope to the hopeless.
Okay.
So it's kind of different.
But it was, I mean, both characters are this.
Well, one person didn't bring hope, and the other one did, and both went against the intentions of either.
Star Wars Jedi fans unleashed just said Wonder Woman shouldn't really have a shield. She has bracelets. Which, by the way, we didn't touch on this last week, too. But if you want to check out our post from last week, we had Art Alexis's Everclear lead singer on last week as well. Go to our SoundCloud page, soundcloud.com/Secrets of the Sire. We didn't really touch on this last week, though, too. I mean, just in terms of at the end, when she unleashes her bracelet power, which was, I guess, the inner power, that wasn't really totally explained either when all was said and done. What's your take on the bracelet thing? I mean, what is she channeling the power of Zeus? Is that what she's supposedly doing? Like, how does that even factor in?
That's kind of what happened when she was training, right? And she used that power.
Right. Which I like the fact that they at least supplanted some sort of foreshadowing early on in the movie.
Implanted? You can't really supplant.
Did I supplant?
Yeah, you supplanted. To supplant something would mean they took it out or undermined it.
Well, that's like English and stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry we're doing
me
that.
Fail English? That's impossible. Yeah, no.
But anyway, yeah.
That's a big thing, too. I mean,
they foreshadowed it.
They did foreshadow.
Yes,
and they planted. That's what I meant to say.
Yes, they did plant or implanted.
Implanted sounds like alien abductions, which is kind of what we're talking about.
That's still your brain again. That's you doing that to yourself.
Well, didn't you just mention before that the Carl Sagan song just makes you think about?
I did that off the air, so that doesn't count.
Doesn't count? That's why I'm bringing it on the air, though. See how that goes?
We don't need to talk about that.
We don't?
No.
Are you sure?
Anytime I have like weird whimsy conversations that wasn't recorded, then we don't need to ever talk about it.
But that's like our whole show. It's just weird whimsy conversations.
There's show whimsy and then there's real life whimsy, and we don't.
Really?
I don't reveal my real life whimsy.
For our people out there, is that what you're basically saying?
It is mostly an act.
It is mostly an act.
Yeah.
Like this is me, like 24/7. You realize? This.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Like there is no facade.
No, there's no facade.
That's why I'm
whatsoever.
videotaped the entire time. Because I'm very.
So you can play that for our
very
patrons.
Transparent. One of the things
they can pay money to hear whimsy.
One of the things that also that we did kind of get into a little bit too is this is the first big success for DC, right? I mean, this is
It's the first
critical success.
It's not really.
No,
it's the first public opinion success. Yep.
You're saying Man of Steel got? I didn't. Man of Steel
was a successful movie. It made.
No. We're not talking about the money. I'm talking about critical success in terms of what critics.
It was reviewed well until like the public relations retcon.
I don't think it was reviewed. No, I don't think it was reviewed as well.
I remember the reviews at the time.
People were like saying.
So was Phantom Menace, and then it got retconned.
Why would you do this?
Why wouldn't I do that?
Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't I do it? Well, I'm trying to say that after a while, like after the internet pounding, starts, then no movie is safe. Once people decide, okay, this was no good, and it's kind of cool, it's kind of hip that it was no good, then you'll start to think that it was forever no good, or it was always no good. But no, that's not how it started.
Brian Everham just chimed in.
Brian's not with me.
He just wrote, "Oh Jesus."
He's not with me.
For anybody not aware, if you're not following our podcast on iTunes, please do. If you're not doing this, I mean, we've had an ongoing prequel struggle. I have my Star Wars shirt on, but it's a Star Wars Father's Day shirt. All right, we have a great show today. We have got a lot more to talk about. We got a lot more to talk about in terms of the future of the DC universe. Jeff Johns has a new mantra for all DC films. And we also have a great guest coming on today. His name is Tom Osa, and he's a radio personality as well too. So he's going to come on and he's going to throw his 2 cents in. And we have to do an RIP.
Hope more than that. You should throw an entire $1 in.
Yeah,
I mean, we have them on,
so,
right? We all have to have dinner tonight. Right?
I agree.
Okay, so no 2 cents, $1.
Well, yeah, it's inflation. It works
exactly.
Like and unfortunately, we're also going to throw another RIP for another living legend.
Unfortunately,
all this when we come back.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo! High five!
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
Joined by my esteemed colleague and co-host, Lord of the Radio?
Lord of the Radio.
Lord of the Radio.
Thank you very much.
Do you have to apply? Do you have to like go to college for that? Is there some sort of like classes?
I could tell you how to become the Lord of the Radio, but then you'd become Lord of the Radio, and I wouldn't be Lord of the Radio
This is
anymore.
very true.
No such thing as co-lord.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It's
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc. I want to remind folks out there, too, this is a call-in show, 877-480-4120. We'd love to get your phone calls. This is potluck night. It's a little bit of a shuffle.
It's a shuffle.
It's a little bit
Not
of everything.
really a potluck.
Well, no, it's definitely potluck.
No,
it's everyone brings something to the table.
You brought the whole meal. Like, that's not
no,
the
but I'm
definition
saying
of
everyone
potluck.
can call in and they can bring their own meal. See? They can bring it, yeah. See?
Okay.
It's potluck night. They can contribute.
Okay.
Can contribute.
That's not how you described it to me before the show went on.
No, but that's my off-air persona.
You're rescuing yourself
my
right
off-air
now.
persona.
Yeah, okay. All right,
See?
fair enough.
Yeah, see how that...
Okay, move on.
Ooh. I am rubber, you are glue.
Oh, stop
like
it.
Yeah, good stuff like that. All right, we were talking Wonder Woman and its impact on the DC Universe. We also kind of talked about its comparison to Captain America, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. Again, go on the Facebook feed, facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire, or you can call in. We'll take callers. We very rarely do, but that's because I promote it very horribly. 877-480-4120.
We're also horrible to whoever calls in. That's the other part of it.
Well, no, but that's kind of fun. Like, I think I would get a kick out of that if someone called in. If I called in a radio station and they're like, "Shut the hell up, you're awful," I'd be like, I was on the radio.
You have low self-esteem.
Well, very. I mean, extremely. That's why I do this show, is to bolster myself up.
I got you.
We also have a phenomenon happening in the studio here. Our blonde intern begot another blonde intern, and we think it's the heat in the studio that allowed this to happen.
I'm getting off this one again.
You're chicken. What are you doing?
You can call me whatever you want.
You're supposed to be.
Call me whatever you want.
We're supposed
I
to
am
be
the Lord of the Radio,
free
and I can
speech advocates.
I can
There is
abstain
nothing in this room that cannot be said.
I'm exercising my
there's
right
lots
to
of things,
not
There's
speak
lots
freely.
of things that cannot be said, but
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. You're allowed to. You're allowed to. Okay, fair enough. Trista says it is super hot in here. It is ridiculously hot. Trista is literally turning colors right now. Like, she is... I don't even know how she's getting a tan in the office, but it is actually legitimately happening, which is like a scientific achievement in and of itself. All right. We were talking Wonder Woman and its impact on DC films. There's actually a really, really big thing that's happening here, too. And we'll get into the reshoots, too, because Joss Whedon is now helming the reshoots. So, obviously, Wonder Woman's success is going to impact Justice League, and we're going to talk about that.
Right. When are we going to do that?
Brian Everham said, all I heard was hot interns and Hassan getting off again. Yeah, see, he went there. Maybe Brian Everham should be my co-host. See, he's bringing it.
He's my guest.
Bringing it here.
Be my guest, because it won't be the heat. He won't have... Right.
He has no...
I won't have to deal with this heat
HR.
every week.
This is very true, actually. He doesn't have to deal with HR.
Be my guest. Call him out.
Yeah. Brian,
come down next week.
There you go.
Be part of the show, Brian.
Joss Whedon's wife's name is Kai Cole. I think Kai Cole's a fan of Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Kai Cole is also a host on talkradio.nyc. Her shows are Thursday mornings at 11. Boom. I'm good. We have our interns actually calling out, really trumping our people on, which I like. I like any kind of conflict and confrontation that I can sit back and just enjoy, not have to actually participate in.
Right.
That's the best part. Well, I think Brian should call in. Brian's a good dude. I like Brian. So DC Universe got its first universal victory with Wonder Woman, and Jeff Johns says it symbolizes a shift in their approach. Warner Brothers only launched the DCU back in 2013, and despite Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Suicide Squad being financial victories, the critical reception only continued to decline. Rightfully or not, the negativity was largely attributed to their anti-Marvel approach.
Right. So they declined. As in, they went from a higher state and they descended.
Well, through each film.
Yeah,
not after the film was over.
But what I'm saying is, starting from Man of Steel.
Yes.
Coming all the way down, as we had said before.
I would put Suicide Squad ahead of Batman v Superman, though. I think they're a little bit better. I think that would, it was a cheesier movie.
Well, if you're talking about the critical acclaim, now you're talking about the quality of the film.
That's what critical reception is, yeah.
One has nothing to do with the other.
Okay, I mean, fair enough.
If you're talking about the critical acclaim per movie, right, which has nothing to do necessarily with the movie itself, but the reaction to the movie.
Sure.
Okay? Or are you talking about the quality of the movie, which movie that you liked better or you thought was a better movie?
They're talking about I'm talking personally that I liked Suicide Squad better than Dawn of Justice.
You threw that in there, but we were talking about the critical acclaim.
I would also say that the critical acclaim for Suicide Squad was better than Batman v Superman.
That's probably true, but we don't since we don't have research of that.
You could go by Rotten Tomatoes score. You could go by.
I would say
overall critical mass.
Yeah, I would say that maybe Batman versus Superman was probably the critically worst movie, the most successfully critically bad movie that they have.
Yes. Well, regardless, Wonder Woman has completely flipped everything now, right? It's completely
until their next movie.
Until their next movie. Well, Jeff Johns spoke to the Wrap website and says this new philosophy: get to the essence of the character and make the movies fun. Just make sure that the characters are the characters with heart, humor, hope, heroics, and optimism.
That's a new approach.
Why could he not
make movies about character?
Why?
Wow,
I'm just upset
deep
that
insight.
I'm just upset he didn't do another H in there. He's like heart, humor, hope, heroics, optimism at the base. It is kind of like crazy at the end of the day, though, right? I mean, hey, make a good movie and people will enjoy it. It's a little weird how that works, right?
Yeah. I guess so. I think I happen to think that it was like a gauntlet or it was like a Russian roulette kind of situation where they were due for a hit. So everyone decided this one was going to be fine.
I don't think that's the case. I think what you could say is, though,
that's why we're having this discussion.
I agree, but I think you could also say that there was enough what not to do's coming into the movie that there was enough influence.
The movie really didn't do anything that different from the other movies.
Tone-wise, it was the same tone. Same color scheme.
I think the only thing it really did is the biggest difference between Wonder Woman and, say, Man of Steel is that it was the goal was kind of consistent from start to finish.
Sorry, Greg Jarginian just chimed in. No point to have this discussion. JLA will be shit. He's just already banking that it's going to be bad. I don't know. I think in general, though, Wonder Woman cued itself from the other movies and made sure to just tell a good story. Just tell a good story with a good character, right?
Yeah, but the other stories, pretty much, not terrible stories. There was nothing super spectacular that was done with Wonder Woman that was all that different from the other movies.
No, I think there was, though, and I'll give you an example.
I'd love one.
Suicide Squad, right? I mean, Suicide Squad is essentially the deconstruction of Suicide Squad, right? One of their own turns on them. But we don't care about their characters because we're just learning about their characters. So if they had actually taken on a threat, like maybe the Joker being the villain of that gives them an actual reason to unite. And then it really puts Harley Quinn up against.
What made you care about Wonder Woman?
You enjoyed the character.
Why?
Because you got to see her from the beginning, right? And she was very grounded. She had very set ideals. Mm-hmm. You're following her along with her on this journey.
And you didn't have that with Suicide Squad?
No, what you
didn't
had...
have that with Deadshot, with his daughter, and a couple of other... I mean, the main focus of the stories.
You had bits and pieces of that, but then you also had a lot of hodgepodge people together. And you had a villain, though, ultimately, that you didn't care... At the end of the day, one of their own was the villain that we didn't care enough about to really impact.
So you really cared about Ares in Wonder Woman?
I cared about the threat that Ares posed, and I also cared about Wonder Woman's mission, and I think that's the big difference.
Why?
Deadshot's mission in that entire movie was redemption, and he was probably one of the better stories.
Well, their mission in general was just to save their boss. It was like kind of a very simplified, singular thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the theme might have been redemption, but the actual mission was just to go ahead and do this one thing.
Right, but the mission itself, to me, I didn't care as much about as the mission that Wonder Woman's on.
Maybe that was you. Maybe you just didn't care.
Yeah, this is my opinion, so yeah.
I know, and I'm just saying, what was so different? from the two? What made the two different?
What makes the two different? Right now, you have who is the boss in who was the end villain in Suicide Squad? The witch at the end. Cara Delevingne's character.
Yes.
If she was the villain in the sequel, right? What's it? Enchantress. If Enchantress was the villain, this is why we have Sam, our trusty producer.
That's why we have everybody.
If Enchantress was the villain in the second movie, right? Mm-hmm. Like, let's say she did something to save everybody in the first movie, we would care about her character, right? Mm-hmm. Because then coming into the second movie, you'd sit there and go like, wow, I can't believe she's the one now that they all have to fight. It flips the tables. It takes something that's existing and actually breaks it down.
So that means you cared about Rufus, was his name, Thrules, Ares,
the general.
Yeah, the
British. Yeah, the British.
Yeah, I forget
Ares.
his first name. Ewan Thrules, I think.
I would sit there and say that they set it up. It's a different story structure. It's a different story structure set up.
So, but you're saying,
if Suicide Squad had done a more traditional structure, which is what they did in Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's a traditional structure. They introduced the villain straight out. This is the mission. Here's her protagonist. Here's what the protagonist has to overcome. Here's what her eventual goal is to do.
They didn't reveal the villain straight out. You had to wait until almost the end of the film.
No. Well, okay, you find out who the villain is, but it's always Ares, and you know that from the get-go.
Okay.
You know exactly what Wonder Woman's struggle is going to be. So then how is it that you were able to care about a villain that had not been seen or revealed until almost the end of the film? Well, I mean, in Wonder Woman, the villain's not it's not part of the Wonder Woman team, is my point. What Suicide Squad did, as from a story structure point of view, is set up what should have been a sequel, is take something that you know and flip it. In this case, they didn't. And honestly, I don't care enough about Enchantress. I didn't care enough about her relationship with the army general. Like, I didn't care about all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So to me, defeating her, when all was said and done, aside from other flaws in that movie, didn't have as much impact. I'm not saying the impact
defeating the villain is supposed to have an impact, emotional impact on you?
I would think that it should at the very end. You should enjoy a film by how great the obstacle is that the hero has to overcome. All great films do that.
I just find it odd that you would care more about a villain that hasn't been seen or hasn't had a word of dialogue than a villain that actually started out and became a villain and then and that you'd seen throughout the entire film.
You see her, but you don't have any. There's no impact to her.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about how you're saying that the other villain was more effective.
I care about the obstacle that was established by.
So you care about the idea of the villain more so than the idea.
I think
of
that's
the other
fair
villain.
enough. I think that's a fair enough statement.
All right,
I would say that the hero's journey in Wonder Woman is greater than the hero's journey, which you don't really get in Suicide Squad. I know they're all villains, so don't get me wrong, but they're protagonists. One way or the other, protagonists have to do that. Man, we really geeked out on story structure, which is really cool and really dull and boring to all of our interns around us. But Sam was really into it. Look at him go. It's very good. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk to our guest, Tom Osa, and he is going to tell us what he thinks about Wonder Woman and the impact on the DC universe.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
If you have an interest in marijuana, you want to know about marijuana, law, policy, and culture, then feel free to join me, Joseph A. Bondi, every Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning on my show In the Know 420 on TalkingAlternative.com.
Legalize the herb to continue to resist the passage of this necessary legislation.
Hi, this is Rob Kay.
And I'm Callie Alpert.
And we're hosts of The Rob and Callie Show. Are you looking for a show that talks about real stuff like life, love, the pursuit of being yourself?
Then you have come to the right place, because we cover topics ranging from chivalry to gratitude to your relationship with money and everything in between.
So listen to us on The Rob and Callie Show, Tuesdays, 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
The superpower you wish you had?
Teleportation.
Ooh. There you go.
I always go flight. I'm always like, I want to fly.
You teleport, you don't need to fly.
Right.
You'd never be late for work.
That's what you would do. This is why you're the co-host of a middling podcast, because you don't dream big enough.
Because I can't teleport. If I could teleport, you think I would be sitting here right now?
You'd be on time.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We talk comics, movies, TV, pop culture. I want to welcome my guest, Tom Assa from WRCR Radio. Tom, how's it going, sir?
What is going on?
You guys are you caught wind of our heated debate on. But
I did. I thought fisticuffs were going to come out. It was pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, no, we're very lazy people. Like
yeah,
that,
it's too hard to move.
Cool.
That would require us to get up. Charles T. Bostic said, "I'm dueling with the story master." I actually just think that Hassan's like a therapist. He just answers a question with a question. And
I'm truthfully jealous of you guys, because truth be told, it's like in my family, it's like they go right to I don't agree with you. I'm going to attack your character. You guys are way cool.
If we didn't have commercial breaks.
Yeah, we did that during the commercial break. Now we're friends again.
So,
we are
licking the wounds. Got it.
So, Tom, I mean, we're talking about a lot tonight. It's potluck night. We're just throwing everything in the center here. What are your takes? What's your take on the Wonder Woman movie in general first, and then we'll kind of get.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, and I have to admit, I didn't do my homework for going to see Wonder Woman, because I specifically went on Sunday night. My girlfriend said, "What movie you want to see?" And she picked the last 2 or 3 movies, and I thought to myself, and this is just me being like the stupid macho thing in the back of our genetic heads. I'm like, well, I really want to see Wonder Woman. But you know what? I don't want to go see The Mummy because it's a man-oriented movie. Arr! So she's like, all right, yeah, whatever. So we went to see The Mummy. I didn't see Wonder Woman, but I am looking forward to seeing it. But I can provide, I guess, my insight on how it affects the DC universe.
Well, right off the bat, I mean, Jeff Johns, the chief creative officer now at DC, is saying, we're going to make movies that are fun now.
Kind of what my reaction was.
It's like, stick with the. I get what they were trying to do. Have a little bit of a darker take on the Marvel universe. I totally get it. It's just, I mean, the problem that I had, and I'm going to go back a little bit. I hope you don't mind, taking off of Wonder Woman for a moment. But for me, Man of Steel. Bro, I cried. I love that movie. I've seen it about 4 or 5 times. I love what they did with it. And I was like, wow, they're going to really make a really cool universe around these characters. And then Batman v Superman, it's like I hung in there. I get it. Let's just throw 8,000 storylines in a 2.5-hour movie plot and, see what sticks. Okay, I get it. But, hopefully the next movie will be good. And Wonder Woman was awesome, from what I understand.
Yep.
But don't change, don't change the vibe just to cater just to the general public now. I mean, stick true to the roots.
It's all about making money. That's all they care about.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Off the heels of that, Wonder Woman's impact on the DC universe, Justice League reshoots, and they have some photos that have come out. The first batch of set photos from the Justice League reshoots hint at some flashback scenes that could connect directly into the story of this summer's Wonder Woman movie. So immediately, we're already seeing an impact. And now, to be fair, Joss Whedon's now at the helm due to the unfortunate circumstances of Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
But immediately, it's clear that these reshoots signal that DC, is kind of, hey, we have a new cash cow. We've got to put them in as quickly as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm. There's a horrible thing that happened to Zach's family. I think his daughter, right?
Yeah, we talked about that in a previous show too. And unfortunately for a lot of fans, that's like, hey, we got what we wanted, and it's like, no, just no.
Mm-hmm.
Just, out of everything that's going on.
Those weren't real. Those fans kind of, they're not real people.
They're just trolls.
Yeah,
they're just
real
disgusting trolls.
Yeah, you're not gonna. I mean, it's gonna come out, and then it's either gonna do really great, and then Joss Whedon's gonna get all the credit, or it's gonna be horrible, and then Joss Whedon's gonna get all the blame, or they're gonna turn around and say that he didn't come in soon enough.
Now, right. I would say Joss Whedon is an internet darling, right? I mean, he for the most part, he has his huge internet fan base
Joss
that
Whedon
always
is
rallies
smart
around.
enough to go away long enough to become a darling again. Because if you remember Age of Ultron, he took a lot of heat for it. And so he just kind of faded into the scenery.
Sure.
And now he's back, and now he's everybody's favorite again.
Tom, what's your take on Joss kind of taking over for this? And do you think, do you think he's going to alter the movie more than what we think we would originally have gotten with Zack Snyder?
I think so, and I think unfortunately the word that was mentioned before, money, it comes into play. Corporate, it is what it is, and on the flip side, it's got to be funded. So these movies have to make money, obviously. But I mean, I think that the thing that Joss Whedon brings to the table is some air. He'll let the story breathe a little bit. Even in Age of Ultron, which was a little more packed in. I mean, it was a more packed in movie than the original Avengers movie. I think he gave it a little more space for the story to kind of develop on its own. You had some side character plots, but there wasn't necessarily that claustrophobic feeling that you felt when Batman v Superman. I mean, they were basically just trying to play catch up to the Marvel universe.
They used one movie.
So I think Joss will bring in, that air.
Yeah, they used one movie in Batman v Superman to basically make up for 8 years of movies that Marvel was doing.
I just think they were just starting to get the formula right. I think that Wonder Woman's a byproduct of the formula that they had set up, and they were just starting to refine it.
Yeah,
and they're learning the wrong lessons from it. I mean, the whole idea is that they could probably put together a franchise that is not the Marvel franchise, but it could still be successful.
Sure.
And those movies are still successful. They're just not popular. They're not critically successful. And so they want the whole pot. They want the critical darlings and the financial windfalls.
Right.
But if you turn all the DC movies into Marvel movies, then that's just going to burn out the genre even faster.
Tom, what do you think about that? Is there an oversaturation now? I mean, have we reached that point? To me, I feel like Wonder Woman kind of, rekindled the love for superhero movies this year. I feel like we were kind of having some fatigue. I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, while a good movie, didn't have the same impact. I feel like a lot of these things, I feel like Wonder Woman kind of reset it a little bit. But what's your take on the superhero movie fatigue?
Well, I think for the market, I mean, it's getting to the point of oversaturation. I mean, you see a new on every summer for the last 7 or 8 years. There's like about 8 or 9 different superhero movies that are out there. Me personally, I think for some of us that are really hardcore fans of the hero-driven movie, and that's, by the way, male, female, monster, whatever have you. I like the adrenaline associated with going to the movie and then having that catharsis at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally am glad that there's so many different, and there's now franchises and entire universes that you can fill in the storylines with. And I think Universal reinventing the monster genre. I mean, when I saw The Mummy, and it got panned a little bit, but it was actually, to my opinion, I think it was a pretty solid movie. I like where they're going with it. It'll end up being it'll be like the dark universe. Marvel will be like the much lighter, funner one, and then maybe DC will be right in the middle with kind of like the PG-13-ish, little harder type of vibe.
So The Mummy, they're not doing the Monster Squad reboot, are they? Which is too bad. Did you ever see Monster Squad in the 80s? Anybody? Bueller?
I haven't.
The interns are shaking their head, but they weren't even born.
I've seen it, but I'm not going to help you out.
You don't like Monster Squad?
I've seen it, but I'm not going to help you out.
Monster Squad's a classic.
I don't dislike the Monster Squad.
Oh, good. All right. Well, that's good.
But it's not really a great movie.
I will insult
and I don't know why we're bringing it up now.
I will insult your character as soon as I possibly.
You do that.
I will attack.
As soon as the mics go dead, you can do that.
That's our whole fourth segment, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just that.
Go ahead.
So, talk to us about The Mummy, too, because what I'm hearing, everyone's just panning Tom Cruise in The Mummy.
He was fine. I think he did okay. He actually provided some humor in the movie.
Okay.
They said that he was kind of like out of place. But I mean, he's a soldier that essentially got dropped into an ancient Egyptian, not a ritual, but like finding some artifacts, and then they uncover the mummy. I mean, I'm sure you can pick up the general storyline from it.
Oh yeah,
it was fun. It was a fun movie.
Well, that's what. Yeah, no, I got nothing. Brian Abraham just chimed in.
He didn't say he's in love with Katie Holmes, so he kept to himself about that.
Brian Abraham chimed in. Wolfman has nards. Such a great movie. Go watch Monsters. Everyone has homework today is to go watch the Monster Squad.
No one's going to watch Monster Squad, dude.
We are going to do
the
an
interns
entire
are not
show
going to go and download
Monster
Squad just because you said so.
Trust
me.
Wait, is that reverse psychology?
Huh?
Are you like doing reverse psychology?
Yeah, I'm trying to help you out with it.
I like
I'm daring them.
I like it. You're like, they won't do that.
Yeah, they won't.
Yeah.
You're not going to watch
I own that movie. I'm not going to go home and watch it.
What's here? Well, I've already seen it, so I don't need that.
Well,
so,
yeah.
It works out pretty good.
I'm thwarting your efforts to make that movie famous again.
So, Tom, you're definitely you're big into some gaming stuff as well too. You just saw one of the PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Well, E3 has been going on for the past week or so, and there's just some crazy lineups that are coming out on PlayStation. I saw the new God of War trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, is anybody here? They check out God of War or anything like that, or
video gamers now? Like Trista, literally, she looks like she's strung out right now. It's so hot in the studio right now. She looks like she's on a rehab binge or something like that. It's terrible. No video gamers. Dara's a video gamer.
I'm actually in the lobby of Guitar Center right now, and it's quite warm and like in this lobby area, so I can kind of empathize with that.
So, Dara, which one were you? She's Gears. Halo. She's a Gears Halo Call of Duty fan. Anything
Call of Duty, okay.
Anything on E3 going on over there? She's wanting to know.
Call of Duty World War II looks friggin' amazing. Amazing.
Okay. All right, see.
It's like basically, you're on Omaha Beach, and, it's some seriously gritty storyline, but you really feel like you're there. It's unbelievable. I mean, where it's going with, like, VR and whatnot, I mean, I could just imagine, like, 5-10 years from now, you're just going to be, like, immersed in it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we don't do video games enough justice, or we don't give video games enough justice on this show, mainly because I play my 16-bit Super Nintendo and/or my facsimile Nintendo 8-bit that plays all my old games. I'm stuck in the 80s. It's good. It's a good place.
Just from when I was listening with you guys, I mean, like, the stuff, the storylines that you're talking about, just while I was on hold, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So, I mean,
yeah, look at that.
Every now and then we got topics.
So, Tom, tell the folks what you got going on and where they can find you.
Well, I'm a web developer. We own Rockland Web Design, located in, obviously, Rockland. We've been around for 10 years. We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary come November. So, just helping out clients set up their websites and their web applications and whatnot. I'm also a drummer on the weekends. That's why I'm down at Guitar Center and pick up my new drum set.
Ooh.
So you can typically find, we're in experiment mode. We're revamping the band, and we'll probably be playing at the local places like Rhodes Tavern, Whiskey Kitchen in Nyack. We're also doing a music festival coming September. I'll probably give you a buzz back on that.
Please
do.
But
that'll be happening up in Stony Point, New York.
Oh, very nice.
So a lot of fun stuff happening over the summer. And then when things calm down, we just head up to the Catskills and do some camping in the woods. Kumbaya, you know what I mean?
There you go. All right, Tom, thank you so much for joining us. When we come back, we got some Spider-Man news that will make your skin crawl.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
Hello, this is Mark Torres.
And Pronto Comics own Dominic Sperano.
And listen to our show, It Came From the Radio, right here on talkradio.nyc. Every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about entertainment, movies,
comic books, and other news.
So make sure you check us out. That's right here, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Wednesday, talkradio.nyc.
TalkingAlternative.com.
You ever seen like the old men at the Starbucks? Like they have their little like.
I don't go to Starbucks.
Oh, I do. I work at
I'm
Starbucks.
a man.
It's fantastic, and they just have these old men club, and they just sit around and talk about the good old days.
That's why I don't go into Starbucks. It's a creepy sausage fest on caffeine.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every week. Again, check us out online. We do this on talkradio.nyc. We're on secretsofthesire.com. We're on Twitter at Michael_Dolce, DOLCE, or you can look up Secrets of the Sire. That's our user handle. Instagram, MDolce64. We also have SoundCloud. I mean, we're everywhere, which is really great. I want to thank Tom Assa for joining us as well too. He, again, Tom. Radio guy from WRCR in my home area. Love his input on tonight's topics. One of the topics we didn't quite get to, but I do want to squeeze it in before we go spinning the racks. Spinning the racks. Spider-Man solo trilogy confirmed by Tom Holland. Tom Holland's debut in Captain America Civil War was just the beginning. He confirmed plans for him to star in his own trilogy. It has continued to become clear that Spidey will have a major role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This will be kicked off by Homecoming, which hits theaters next month. We will actually have some Spider-Man writers on next month. We also have Todd Nuck, I think, coming on as well, too.
Nice.
One of the artists. He did the Obama Spider-Man crossover issue, so some cool stuff there as well, too. 2 other appearances have been confirmed. He's on the set of Avengers Infinity War and Untitled Avengers. It's all good news,
Spider-Man,
right?
Not the writer.
Right. Yeah, okay. Exactly.
Yeah, you got to differentiate.
Yeah. Really great news, right? Except we just also find out that Venom now is going to have his own solo movie, is not part of the MCU. It's going to be completely something separate. I mean,
Spider-Man
what are they
has
doing?
Hundreds of villains. We don't need Venom.
Venom is clearly one of the best.
What are we talking about now?
Venom is clearly one of the most popular.
It's his most popular.
Right,
I don't know if it's one of the best.
I don't. Okay. One of the most popular Spider-Man villains. Tom Holland himself said he would love to see a Spider-Man Venom crossover, but the movie's not in the Marvel Universe.
They'll work out a deal.
You think so?
They worked out a deal to get Spider-Man into the Marvel Universe.
This is true, and they overwrote continuity to do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So then there's no problem.
What do you think? What are your thoughts on the Tom Hardy Venom movie?
Bad idea.
Enough said.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
There's no Spider-Man in it. What's the point?
Brian Everhand makes a great point. Who will Venom fight? Spider-Man is his rival. Now, unless they decide to go the hero route.
He'll fight J. Jonah Jameson.
Well, J. Jonah Jameson, he's in Sony. Yeah.
He's in Sony.
Peter Aiken says, doesn't Venom carry the baggage of the last time he popped up in a movie? Yeah, that we
see.
Like
this
to
is the thing,
that.
though. People have to. This is a completely different genre. It's a completely different movie studio. Well, it's not a movie studio, but completely different writers and stuff like that. It's an intentional reboot, right? Because the last Venom was so poorly received, right?
Yeah.
And arguably, and I'll concede, poorly done.
It was poorly done,
right? Okay, fair enough. So now they're trying to correct it. And jerky fans are like, yeah, it was real bad. The thing was so bad. I don't understand why I have
Spider-Man
to do that.
3 like the equivalent of Batman v Superman, if you think about it? Like they basically took like two different storylines, threw it together into one movie, with the exception of world building, which is what Batman v Superman was trying to do. It's almost a parallel, right? It's too dark, it's too like gritty. It's got like Spider-Man.
You want to
relitigate
Spider-Man 3?
I want
to. There's no.
I want to almost feel like they patterned.
I don't see.
Batman v
You're always
Superman
going to have a bad discussion with me about because Batman versus Superman isn't a terrible film.
You're my co-host on a radio station. Don't ever tell them we're going to have a bad discussion. Don't pull the curtain there, buddy. We need.
That's what they want. They tune in for the bad discussion.
Well, all right, but you don't have to admit that it's a bad discussion. I mean,
then I'd be lying.
This entire night's been terrible. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
I don't know where your soliloquies come from.
We do this every week. We go spinning the racks for the best and most fantastic.
Okay, so that discussion's over.
News out there. Yeah.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
What happened? Oh no! Spin that rack. Spin that rack. Wah 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 wah.
And now we recorded that.
I know. But it'll be not as good as yours.
No.
It's not as good as yours.
No, that's happening.
Gene Simmons is in the news seeking an opening act and Rockstar Kid for Wizard World Chicago August 26th. Local musicians can submit video links by August 10th to enter to be one of the concert's opening act. Also seeking Rockstar Kid to play song on stage with Gene. It's pretty amazing, right? I mean, Wizard World Chicago's still chugging along, doing their thing. Gene Simmons rocking out, period. It's really good for Gene Simmons just to be rocking out. I mean, he's really old, so I know it's good to get him up on stage.
Old people can do things. Don't be an ageist. Don't be an ageist.
Well, how much would you kill?
Ageist.
How much would you kill to be up on stage with Gene Simmons?
How much would I kill if I was up on stage with Gene Simmons? What's a different
for the world the world at large, our ever growing fan base. Hassan is an unbelievable bass player as well too. So you would actually out-rock Gene Simmons.
No.
Yes.
No.
And you'd party.
This is a misconception. Gene Simmons is an amazing bass player.
Is he?
Yes.
Really?
In the beginning, in the early Kiss years,
he wants to rock and roll.
He put. I don't know if that was him playing. They all say it was him playing, but he put some pretty amazing bass lines together.
All right.
Then they got later. We got into the God of Thunder days where he was just hitting the E string. Those are different.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
Bumblebee is getting a spinoff. So we're going to talk about Transformers next week. Next
Bumblebee
week.
Who? What are we talking about when you say Bumblebee's getting a spinoff?
Bumblebee from Transformers.
Yeah. Now
we're going to be talking about Transformers
product recognition
next week.
now.
We are going to, in fact, be talking about the best 80s movie franchises.
So we're not going to talk about Bumblebee right now.
We are going to talk about the fact that he's got a spinoff, though. So we're not done with the Transformers universe. What do you think of that?
All right. Can we talk about something else?
I'm running out of things to talk about here.
Transformers is literally eye cancer. It really is kind of the worst thing that's ever happened to cinema.
To be fair, it's Michael Bay's final movie.
It's Michael Bay's never going to make another movie or never going to make another Transformers movie. Then it's still terrible.
It's still not enough.
If it was Michael Bay's last movie, I would be there opening day with a bouquet of roses for everybody in the audience, and I would buy everybody popcorn. But since it's just his last Transformers
fiasco,
fiasco,
he's not very well liked.
He's not a very good director.
Yeah, he blows things up, though.
I can blow things up.
Yeah.
Anybody can blow things up.
Yeah.
Okay? But, I mean, look, okay. Without discussing it really deeply, there's a particular scene in the first Transformers movie where Optimus Prime is running away from helicopters. Okay? All right? And he hides behind a bridge.
Yes.
Okay? Hold on. Just bear with me.
I'm with you.
There are helicopters chasing a robot that can change from a from a man size, from a humanoid machine robot, 16 feet tall, into a truck and then back into a robot again. Right?
Okay.
And there are helicopters chasing him, shooting at him. Right?
Yeah.
This is a prepubescent extravaganza.
Okay.
It is literally
I'm
like
right there with you.
testosterone on steroids.
Yeah.
It's the greatest idea. It is pretty much the equivalent of the other greatest thing that I've ever heard of, which is in the Peter Jackson King Kong movie, where King Kong drop kicks a Tyrannosaurus Rex. When you're a child, you're like, I'll never see anything greater than this again.
Sure.
Right? So Optimus Prime running from helicopters. It's probably the most boring scene in any movie I've ever seen, because the man does not know how to stage a shot.
Sure.
He does not know how to visually tell stories other than just to blow things to heck up.
Right.
So when he's trying to do something, that's supposed to be tension-filled and suspenseful.
Just boom.
Yeah. He just doesn't have it.
Just bloom.
And watching that scene all by itself was a stupid throwaway 5-second scene. Watching that all by itself made me totally despise him as a director for all time. And that's after I saw Armageddon, which is another terrible film.
Armageddon was fun.
Film.
That was a fun movie.
No, it's not.
Come on.
It's one of the
Animal
worst.
Crackers,
It's one of the worst
Liv
stories
Tyler.
ever told. It's one of the worst stories ever told.
Very nice. It's good stuff.
No.
I like Armageddon.
It's ridiculous.
We'll talk about that next week.
No, we won't.
Nathan Fillion sees
Because
deleted...
Brian is going to be here. He's going to be your co-host.
Yeah. Well, it's about time. I mean, it's about time we stepped up here. Come on.
Yeah. Pick up the quality.
Tristan
That's what
will literally be a burnt cinder.
She's not coming back.
No.
She's not coming back. She's going to come back with her own little portable air conditioner.
I'm just like amazed right now. Like you, I mean, like you're like red. I know this is radio, but Jesus Christmas, this is unbelievable. I mean, I've lost weight, and that's nice, but, Anyway, Nathan Fillion sees deleted Guardians 2 cameo as an opportunity. He still wants to play Wonder Man. What do you see Nathan Fillion as Wonder Man?
I didn't even know he was in Guardians 2. You didn't even share that with me.
No, he wasn't.
I didn't know he was in it and was cut out of it.
No, he wasn't cut either. Oh, no, he was cut. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Ay, Dios mío, what is happening? Yeah. The heat is going to your brain. The heat is going to your brain.
I think it's
so. All right, so that discussion is kind of moot because I didn't even know he was in it and got cut out of it. So,
yes.
Okay, great for him that he can play someone else in the future.
He says he sees it as an opportunity for a future entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
All right, yeah, he's trying to get it. Everyone's trying to break in before
Supposedly,
it's over.
His co-host in Castle hates his guts, though, and they actually had to go to family counseling. They had to go to couples therapy to be on that show together. Is Nathan Fillion a jerk?
I don't know.
I've
never met him.
Next week.
He seems a little jerky.
He seems
like he could be a jerk if he didn't like you.
I guess
he could. He's got that jerk capacity.
Though? Like, isn't that everybody?
Yeah, but some people are better than others, or worse.
I want to thank Tom Assa for joining us. We had a great show today. We talked Wonder Woman. Again, go download us on iTunes. Go check us out on iHeartRadio.
Do it.
Go check us out on the Facebook feed. Come back next week because we are bringing back the 80s with the last Transformers flick hitting theaters. We break down.
Yeah, they're going to want to hear that.
Toy to movie franchises. Relive the decade that most, not me, consider to be the best ever. Plus, we're going to welcome the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Marty Grabstein's going to be chiming in.
Nice.
Oh, wow. They are like...
Wait, our interns actually woke up.
Into flames right now. It's crazy.
Well, now that delirious from heat stroke.
Courage the Cowardly Dog coming up next week on Secrets of the Sire.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Who do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo!
Hey, all you crazy listeners. Looking to boost your business? Why not advertise on Talking Alternative with very reasonable rates? Interested? Simply email at info@talkingalternative.com.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network at www.talkingalternative.com. Now, broadcasting 24 hours a day. Talking Alternative.
Hi, this is Rob Kay.
And I'm Callie Alpert.
And we're hosts of The Rob and Callie Show. Are you looking for a show that talks about real stuff like life, love, the pursuit of being yourself?
Then you have come to the right place, because we cover topics ranging from chivalry to gratitude to your relationship with money and everything in between.
So listen to us on The Rob and Callie Show, Tuesdays, 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.